First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
North Central Florida is bracing for record low temperatures. We're about to feel the effects of an Arctic blast from the north, putting our communities under a freeze warning. And we're not just seeing freezing temperatures in our area. The cold and dry air has us in a red flag warning, meaning we could possibly see hazardous fire weather conditions. Forecasters say these low temperatures are unusual for Florida this time of year. This is First at 5. I'm Nicole Beltran.
And I'm Madison Ginsberg. Our weather team is forecasting wind chills in the 20s going into tomorrow. We're bringing you team coverage of the cold weather we're experiencing, starting with UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini. Jadyn, we can expect below freezing temperatures tomorrow as the Arctic air moves across the United States.
Exactly. We certainly are expecting unseasonably cold temperatures tomorrow morning. It's going to get down into the 20s. It's going to be freezing out there, so be aware. And not only are we getting cold weather, we're also getting some dry air in our area too. This is going to cause the combination of our dry air and our high winds causes that elevated risk for fire. So avoid open flames. We'll talk about it in a second, but you can see all this dry and cold air is coming into our region, putting temperatures down into the 20s. And we're at this red flag warning across most of North Central Florida except for the coast. So be aware of outdoor flames tomorrow with that warning because of those high winds and dry air. And looking at campus right now, temperature is 57. It's a beautiful day today. It's going to get way chillier tomorrow. Skies are clear though, that humidity and dew point are low again because of that dry air in our area. Lows tomorrow going to be even below 30. We're in the 20s, 29 in Gainesville, 30 in Ocala, 32 in the Villages, and we're only getting up into the 50s. So we'll talk about it more when we get back.
Gainesville's Cold Night Shelter program is active tonight and Tuesday night. If you need shelter, St. Francis House and Grace Marketplace are providing a warm place to sleep. St. Francis House serves mainly families, women, and children. Grace Marketplace serves mainly individual adults. The program will stay active until temperatures rise above 45 degrees. Cold night shelters like St. Francis House and Grace Marketplace are essential during the winter months.
WUFT got a first-hand look at what the shelters provide the community. Continuing our live team coverage, WUFT's Jessica Wilkinson is live outside St. Francis House. Jess, you spoke with volunteers who shared how the shelter is helping people vulnerable to the cold.
You can definitely feel how cold it is out here outside, which can be life-threatening for those living outside. Volunteers here tell me every bed and blanket matters when it comes to temperatures dropping this low.
Even in the most southern state, it gets cold. Bundling up is almost a must until February. St. Francis House Director of Development Caitlin Drummond says her team knows the story more than most.
Everybody needs a safe place to stay and not have to worry about where they're going to be at night.
St. Francis House is a women and children's shelter in Gainesville. It activates the cold night shelter when the temperature drops below 45 degrees. Guests get a warm place to stay, cots, and a hot meal.
I can help them in ways that they don't have outside of this building. It's just to know that I'm a helping hand to help someone, to be able to be that help.
For 3 days, volunteer Sierra Cox watched donations come in the form of coats, diapers, and blankets. Around 30 kids are staying here and can read books, ride bicycles, and lie around in a homey environment.
I just want you to know that it's like, even outside of this being your home, it could be both our home. I'm not going to judge you, you're human, I'm human.
Sierra shares her time because she likes to help.
It's always a reminder to you, for you to be thankful. Say, I have a home outside of here, but I know I come here and I'm comfortable with them.
And right here is where she'll stay until the temperature rises.
Cold night shelters will remain open until temperatures reach above 45 degrees. Live in Gainesville, Jessica Wilkinson, WUFT News.
If you're outside of Gainesville, there are also cold night shelters open to you. In Marion County, the Salvation Army is opening its doors. It will serve a hot dinner at 5 p.m. and check-in will begin at 6. In Lake City, the Parkview Baptist Church is taking people in from the cold. Anyone staying overnight must be checked in and on campus by 10 p.m.
Drivers, be aware tomorrow morning's below freezing temperatures could impact your car. Before you hit the road, check for 2 things. First, check your tires. When the temperature drops, so does your tire pressure. Make sure they have enough air for you to safely drive on them. You should also check your visibility. We could possibly see some frost on the windshield tomorrow morning. You can clear that up by turning on your defroster or using a plastic ice scraper.
Being covered in fur is not enough to brave freezing temperatures. Animals are also feeling the impact of this Arctic blast. Members of the community donated blankets to Marion County Animal Services. These donations will be used to keep animals warm tonight and tomorrow. The animal shelter asks if you're able to foster a dog, please do. It gives the animals a break from the cold and stress of a shelter.
We need foster families. And so that's another cry for us. We have lots of needs, and fosters are definitely on the highest part of the list.
Causey says as of last Monday, there were 287 animals available for adoption. To prepare for the cold, the shelter has been closing the outside portion of the kennels and ensuring the heaters are working smoothly. Shelter staff recommends all pet owners to keep their animals inside as much as possible tonight and tomorrow.
The upcoming cold weather this week is also giving plants the chills. According to an IFAS report, sudden drops in temperature can damage outdoor plants, especially ones native to Florida. However, properly conditioned plants can acclimate to withstand freezing temperatures, making it important for residents to prep their plants before the cold hits. UF IFAS Environmental Horticulture Agent Cynthia Nazario explains that covering plants during the night can help minimize the damage.
You want something light like a sheet or a cotton cloth that you can lay over. The idea is you don't want it touching the plant, but you want it touching the ground, because the idea is that the heat from the ground is going to rise and then gets trapped in that covering.
During the day, Nazario recommends taking the covers off to allow plants to get sunlight. Other measures Nazario emphasizes are watering your plants to help insulate the roots, which stops them from freezing too quickly. When you can, move plants inside or group them together. Also, you can put mulch on the surface of plant containers around the stems. And finally, avoid applying heaters to plants. Ahead on First at 5, we're continuing to break down the Arctic blast reaching our area.
Plus, ahead of Veterans Day, we will show you one organization's work picking up the pieces for families of fallen first responders. Stay with us.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Thousands of off-roaders came together in Stark this weekend, not just for fun, but for remembrance. Crawlin' for the Fallen honors police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty.
WFT's Victoria Perez joins us live in the newsroom to share how one man's Jeep is keeping memories of fallen loved ones alive.
When I walked through the gates this weekend at the event, there were hundreds of Jeeps, but one of them stood out among the rest. Take a look.
In a bumper-to-bumper array of Jeeps,
Bought a junkyard Jeep, tore it down to a bare frame, rebuilt it to what it is now with the sole intention of coming out here.
Ray Tremblay Sarge is
So a rolling memorial, if you will.
It was built up in just 6 weeks. For him, it's a way to honor his fallen brothers and sisters across the country.
This is an opportunity for folks that have seen the same loss, seen the same tragedy at different times in their lives to come together and realize they're not alone.
Now, when the officers' loved ones or survivors like Faith Bauman come to Crawlin' for the Fallen,
I mean, there's a little piece of my mom in them, so it's just a nice way to honor and remember.
She honors her mom, Renee Azur, a fallen deputy from the Union County Sheriff's Office. She died in the line of duty when Bauman was only 3 years old.
I wish that I had more time to make more memories and to learn from her, because she was a beautiful, beautiful person.
Stories like these are why founder Christine Johnson started the event.
So it's very humbling for me to just know that there's so many people out there that continue to give their heart out and continue to go fight, the battles that they fight and still come out here with a smile on their face.
And at night,
Police Officer Darren Burks. End of watch, August 29th.
they light a candle.
There's blue bags for every officer killed in the line of duty. Then there's purple bags for all those that took their own lives. And it's interesting. It's very somber.
To honor their end of watch.
Over 90 officers and their end of watches were honored, but Ray's Jeep is just another way that they're remembered. Reporting live in the newsroom, Victoria Perez, WUFT News.
In Gainesville, around 1,000 veterans' graves are now clean and marked with American flags. Hundreds of volunteers gathered at Evergreen Cemetery on Saturday for its annual Veterans Day flag placing. Cemetery staff gave people maps and told them where they could plant the flags. Volunteers also brushed their assigned graves to get rid of the leaves and dirt. Cemetery coordinator Karen Perez says this event is personal for her.
My mother and my father are both veterans. My two sons are both in the Army. My two brother-in-laws are both military, and my father-in-law is a veteran from the Korean War.
While Veterans Day is Tuesday, celebrations continue in Gainesville through the rest of the week.
With the holiday tomorrow, some city services will be closed. In Alachua and Marion County, most government offices won't be open. However, your trash will still be picked up on schedule. And emergency services will always be available. All government offices and facilities will be back open on Wednesday.
Coming up, we're tracking record-breaking low temperatures and even chillier wind chill values. We'll talk all about it coming up next.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
The freezing air will continue to move across the United States tonight and into tomorrow. As it pushes through our area, it's going to bring record cold temperatures to the southeast.
Yeah, and seeing these freezing temperatures and all the snow in South Bend, Indiana makes me really grateful it's only in the 60s here, but it's going to be in the 20s tomorrow.
I agree. It's going to be chilly, but I'm very excited. It's a nice break from all the heat we've been experiencing.
I love a good break from the heat as well, but it's going to get super chilly, even down in the 20s tomorrow. So this is some unseasonably cold we're going to be seeing tomorrow, and we can see we're under a freeze warning across most of north central Florida except for the coast, so it's going to be super chilly, and it's already a little bit chilly. Temperature change in the past 24 hours, we're down to about 25 degrees, so we've already seen colder, but our coldest today will be our hottest tomorrow, and our temperatures right now close to 60 degrees, 57 in Gainesville, 58 in Ocala, 59 in the Villages, so pretty comfortable relative to tomorrow. Tomorrow it is super duper chilly is what we're expecting. Not only will it be chilly, it's also going to be windy. Wind gusts right now close to 20 to 25 miles per hour, but this wind gust tomorrow, we're going to feel it because even we're in the 20s, and then we have wind gusts on top of it, making us even colder. And we're reaching a record tomorrow with our low. We're forecasted to hit 29 degrees tomorrow morning, and our record for November 11th is 30 degrees. So even unseasonably lows is what we're expecting pretty much across the entire East Coast. And our lows tomorrow morning, we can see 29 in Gainesville, 30 in Ocala, 32 in the Villages, staying a little bit more moderate towards the coast at 36 in St. Augustine, 36 in Daytona Beach. But we are getting chilly, and it's going to feel even chillier with our winds. Like I said, it's going to feel like 23 degrees tomorrow in Gainesville, 26 in Ocala, 25 in the Villages. So bring your jacket, layer up. We're only going to even get into the mid 50s. So again, that was our coldest pretty much we hit today, but we'll be 55 for our high tomorrow in Gainesville. So very, very chilly is what we're expecting. And we do have some fire weather warnings as well. We're under a red flag warning across most of north central Florida, again, except the coast, staying a little bit more wet there, but dry inland. And we can see why our dew point's super duper low. Our average dew point for this time of year between 50 and 60 degrees. But right now, dew point's down to 15 degrees in Gainesville, 18 in Ocala. So our dry air could cause a risk for some elevated fire risk with those open flames, and again, high winds allows that fire to spread quickly. So 19 mile per hour wind gusts around noon tomorrow. That is why we're under this red flag warning, but luckily winds will settle down into the evening. This red flag warning expires tomorrow, but again, that dry air is why we have that there. So takeaways for tomorrow: dress in layers. It's going to be super chilly. Unseasonable cold is what we're going to see tomorrow, down in the 20s. Bring in those plants and pets. They cannot survive that kind of weather. Avoid outdoor burning because we are under that red flag warning. But lucky for us, it will warm up later in the week. Let's take a look at it here. Again, tomorrow, unseasonable cold, high of 55, low of 29 degrees. Down in the 60s for our high on Wednesday as well. Warming up a little bit Thursday into Friday, high in the 70s. And then heading into the weekend, we get back into the 80s with that chance of showers, back to our normal temperatures.
Our WFT weather team will continue to track the cold temperatures for you. You can find updates on our app or on our website at WUFT.org. Right now, neighbors are cleaning up after a pair of homes caught fire in north central Florida over the past 24 hours. The first was in Hawthorne Sunday evening. Firefighters saved one person as well as a dog from a kitchen. The resident was taken to a local hospital while the dog was not hurt. Alachua County Fire Rescue is still investigating the cause of the fire.
And just after midnight today, another fire broke out at the Belle Villa Mobile Home Park in Citrus County. Workers on site said the home was going through renovations and was empty. No injuries were reported. Firefighters learned the damage was caused by an electrical fire. Citrus County Fire Rescue wants to remind you to get your electronics inspected regularly to prevent malfunctions.
Coming up in sports, Gators head coach Billy Gonzalez spoke to the media today. We'll tell you what he had to say about the team's starting quarterback situation. And how do the Gators, and in particular their offense, regroup against an Ole Miss team with just one loss? That and more coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back to sports. I'm Lauren McGill. Florida women's basketball looks to keep their unbeaten start going tonight. The Gators have been putting up impressive stats through their first two games. By both wins, more than 35 points. A big contributor to the Gators' success so far has been the play of point guard Liv McGill. Across the Gators' 2 wins, she is averaging 32 points, 8.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists, and 6 steals. Her record-breaking numbers in last week's win makes her the only Gator in men's or women's program history to record 38 points and 10 assists, or 38 points and 7 assists in a single game ever. McGill will be back in the O-Dome tonight at 7 to face Jacksonville. Staying on the court, men's basketball is also looking for another win when they take to the court in the O-Dome tomorrow night. WFT Sports' Macy Meis attended Coach Golden's presser Monday, where he addressed some of the areas of concern. She joined us now live from the O-Dome. Macy?
The reigning national champions are coming off a 40-point win in their home opener against North Florida on Thursday. Despite coming off a loss in their season opener against Arizona in Las Vegas, the Gators have returned to the Swamp, but this time with a different story. Head coach Todd Golden emphasized today that this new story is still being written.
Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy, right? And I think that's something that as a coach you got to be really mindful of. It took us a little bit last year to get going shooting the basketball. So as long as we're doing the things that don't require talent, which is defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball, we'll let the other things kind of get sorted out over the next couple of weeks.
After the 2025 National Championship banner reveal, Golden's Gators shot 49% on the game, but only went 6 for 32 from the three-point line. The Gators are now back in the win column and set to host in-state rival Florida State. The Seminoles have had an impressive start to their season, putting up over 100 points in just their first 2 games. Tomorrow night in the O-Dome is sure to be a Sunshine State showdown. Reporting to you live from the Stephen C. O'Connell Center, I'm Macy Meis, WUFT Sports.
Over to the gridiron, high school football is tackling the playoffs one game at a time starting this Friday. Recapping a matchup from this past week, Oak Hall defeated Christ Church Academy 28-22. Looking ahead, Buholtz, Eastside, Santa Fe, Newberry, Trinity Catholic, Hawthorne, Williston, Vanguard, and Chiefland will face their playoff opponents on Friday. The winners of each game will move on to the next round as each chases a state title. Staying on the field, the 3-6 Florida Gators travel to Oxford this weekend to face Lane Kiffin and his number 6 Ole Miss Rebels. And along with this big matchup comes big stakes, storylines, and plenty of off-field chatter. The Rebels are sitting at 8-1, and head coach Lane Kiffin has Ole Miss dialed in, but he has also been sitting soundly on top of the rumor mill. In media circles, the chatter is growing louder that this game isn't just a conference matchup, it might also be a symbolic crossroads for Kiffin's future. And before we turn the page to Ole Miss, we have to talk about the gut punch the Gators squad took Saturday against Kentucky, a game where we saw quarterback DJ Lagway benched. WFT's Jordan Costagliola was at Heavener earlier today when Billy Gonzalez says their troubles are not set squarely on quarterback play.
Saturday was Florida's biggest loss to Kentucky since the 1950s, and part of that was because of DJ Lagway's 3 interceptions. However, head coach Billy Gonzalez made sure DJ knew it wasn't all his fault.
And he said, I understand it's all performance based and it all begins with me at the quarterback position. And I stopped him because it doesn't. It all begins with the coaching staff. It begins with us as an offensive staff to be able to put him in that position. I don't want you to think that it all begins with you and that you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. I don't want that. I need you to go out there and relax.
Gonzalez said Lagway will start the week taking reps with the first team, but the position is always a competition. Reporting from the Hefner Football Training Center, I'm Jordan Costagliola, WUFT Sports.
Lastly, from the net, Gators volleyball will have their annual Military and First Responders Appreciation Night from the O'Connell Center Wednesday night when they host Texas A&M. That wraps it up for sports. Stick around for one last look at the weather after the break.
It is going to be very chilly tomorrow. Make sure to bundle up in those layers. Bring inside your plants and pets. Avoid outdoor burning because we are under a red flag warming, and luckily we will be expecting it to warm up later this week. Tomorrow's our chilly day. Temperatures go back to more seasonable towards the end of the week.
Thanks for the chilling updates, Jadyn, and thank you for joining us.
We're off tomorrow for the holiday, but we'll be back on Wednesday. Have a great night.